Alas, poor Terminator, how I knew thee. A franchise of such infinite awesome and epic action. I had borne you on mine TV 1,000 times over and 1,000 times again. But now, how abhorred in mine imagination you are. My gorge rises at the mere thought of thee. Here hung the lips that had once issued such great one-liners I know not how oft. Where be your memorable characters now? Your groundbreaking special effects? Your thrilling action? Your thought-provoking bits that were once to set my mind a-roar? Not one now. Dead cat and dirty beard aside, let us discuss Terminator. Our writers cannot spell this. So yeah, one of the greatest sci-fi franchises of all time has once again had its name dragged through the mud. Something I would call a pattern of late, but Fury Road. But that's a whole other thing. We're here to talk about Terminator, not Mad Max, however awesome Mr. Mad's movie may have been. God, I wish I was talking about Mad Max. And why haven't I done a big episode on that yet? So, Terminator Genesis. It's terrible, god-awful even, but any critic on the web worth their salt could have told you that, and this video is going up just a tad late to be a traditional review, so what is this? Why watch yet another internet personality rip this misspelled atrocity a new one? Because, my friends, there is no fate but what we make for ourselves.
The future is not set.
The future's not set. There's no fate but what we make for ourselves.
The future has not been written. There is no fate but what we make for ourselves.
There is no fate but what we make.
And while I have no clips of it because, the movie's still in theaters, Terminator Genesis finds a way to cram that line in there a couple times too. As well it should though, because that little phrase is actually the theme of this franchise. It's what these movies are about. But I posit that none of the movies that have come since Terminator 2 understand what no fate means. And actually, a couple of them make horrible contradictions of themselves by shoehorning that line in.
The future has not been written. There is no fate but what we make for ourselves.
But we stopped Judgment Day.
You only postponed it. Judgment Day is inevitable.
And fun fact, the people who wrote those contradictory little bits there and Terminator 3 on whole, and then went on to write Terminator Salvation, they're on record as not being fans of the Terminator franchise and only wrote the movies so that they could buy a house. Kind of makes a lot of sense, don't it? Now, I'm not saying that you need to be in love with every movie that you write, but call me crazy, but wouldn't it help? But what does no fate actually mean? Well, considering how badly the last 3 movies have messed it up, it's actually really simple. No matter what we do, no matter what happens, no matter what mistakes we as a species might make, there is always hope. There is always a light at the end of the tunnel, which is why the first 2 movies, aka the good ones, end on ambiguous notes.
He said there's a storm coming in.
I know.
The unknown future rolls toward us. I face it for the first time with a sense of hope, because if a machine, a Terminator, can learn the value of human life, maybe we can too.
and why the bad movies end with either the war kicking off or took place entirely during the war with the evil robots. Because the future is unknown and ever-changing, which is why the evil robot in the Terminator was just a T-800, and there's this crazy mimetic polyalloy T-1000 thing in Terminator 2 just— oh my god, that is so awesome! The events of the first movie affected the future, allowing the T-1000 to exist, because there is no fate. Something seen originally in the Terminator when Sarah Connor falls in love with her protector, Kyle Reese, bumps some uglies, and gets impregnated with John Connor, the future savior of mankind the evil robots were trying to kill by sending robots back in time.
The future's not set. There's no fate but what we make for ourselves.
By trying to cheat a victory, the evil robots made their greatest enemy, because choices have consequences, actions have results, and they shape the future. Just like mankind was foolish when they built an AI, Skynet, to handle military and defense computer system thingies, Skynet was equally foolish in thinking fiddling with the past could win them the war. It's kind of interesting, right? These evil robots having similar flaws to humans? It's almost as if there's like a metaphorical purpose to Terminators looking human. Almost to say that maybe these movies aren't about fighting evil robots, but about fighting mankind's own demons, flaws, and mistakes. Kind of sort of saying that maybe the things that happen in the future aren't really as important as the things that happen in the past. Which would explain why the first two movies don't really show too much from the future, right? Mostly in dreams and stuff? But then that would mean that any sequel that focused too much on future stuff, or alternate stupid fucking timelines, are missing the point entirely. I'm sorry, what the fuck am I talking about? Look at this beard. I obviously have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm talking out my ass just to get views. You know, just fuck me and go watch Terminator Genesis, because it's the greatest fucking movie of not just this year and the franchise, but all time! You know why? Because it's got like 15 different timelines and T-800s, 1000s, 3000s, 5000s, and all kinds of crap, and explosions, and Arnold with big guns, and yeah! That's what Terminator's about, right? Right?